when I was in campus, I encountered this book titled The Tyranny of the Urgent. The author, who I forget who it was, argues that in life there are important things and then there are urgent things. But most of life, we sacrifice the important things at the altar of the urgent thing. Let me give you an example. Maybe you, for this a particular day, you wake up and the important thing of that day is for you to spend time with your family. But all of a sudden, you open your phone, there's something interesting, you notice it's 2 hours later, as in it's one thing after the other, just watching things. They're not important, but they're in your face, Or a friend calls you and they have some hot moshene, and you spend, you rush to them, and try to get that moshene. And the day ends, and you have not done the important thing. So he was arguing that we need to be careful if we are to have a productive life. We need to be careful that we don't sacrifice the important things in our lives at the altar of the things that look urgent, or that they come screaming and just want our attention. The urgent thing in this place is things that just scream for our attention, that derails us from the important thing. We need to watch out for those things. And that's my challenge for you even as we start this year. What is important in your life? What is the priority in your life? Make sure that you guard those and you don't sacrifice those at the altar of the things that just want you to indulge, yet they are not that important. They would have come really last in your list. And the Bible tells us of one of such important things. The Bible tells us that seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, then all these other things shall be added unto you. The place of seeking the kingdom of God should be a priority to us, and we therefore should really guard. And let me just narrow. The kingdom of God is a very broad topic, but let me narrow, because the first actions towards seeking the kingdom of God is having alone time with God, where you read his word and pray, what we call personal devotion, or quiet time, some people would say. You need to guard that time, because a lot of us sacrifice that time for things that look urgent, but they are not important. Sometimes you want to do a devotion, but you say, let me make breakfast first for my family, and then it doesn't happen. It's not that making breakfast is not a good thing, but you're sacrificing it. You could still have had your devotion and made breakfast if you just had prioritized, and guarded that time. Sleep is another thing that looks urgent and takes away whatever it is. Friends, calls, whatever it is, guard that time where you seek the kingdom of God in your time of personal devotion. Most of us, it's becoming quite common that we have believers who spend maybe just have devotion once or twice a week. That doesn't cut it. In my opinion, it needs to be at least 5 days. If you can, 7 days, but at least 5 days where you spend quality time. And quality time cannot be 1 minute. It cannot be 5 minutes. It cannot be 10 minutes. Maybe 10 minutes for a very young believer or a child believer. But as you grow to faith, I would say a minimum of 30 minutes. 1 hour. You can even do 2 hours where you set aside between X time and X time. It is a time of just me with my God, and then you guard that jealously. Don't let your relationship with God, which is very important, be sacrificed at the altar of other things. Whatever other things should come second. So guard your time with God.